Ben?
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight.
Right through there is where I saw my first shadow that ran through here.
Have you ever felt completely helpless during a remote van camping encounter, when strange men suddenly emerge from the dark woods or a vicious 3 a.m. storm forces a frantic escape? You are entirely alone. Would you hold your ground or immediately run? On August 4th, 2026, Jasko uploaded an overnight investigation from the Appalachian Mountains. His YouTube channel focuses on paranormal exploration, haunted locations, and disturbing camping encounters. Joined by his cameraman Ben, he returned to an old camper van during a stormy night. While walking near the van, Jasko notices a backpack hanging high in a tree and calls Ben over to examine it. That is when Ben reveals what had just terrified him.
You can see it from here.
What the fuck?
You see that?
Is that a suitcase?
I don't know. And I kind of freaked out because I was mid-pee and I looked up and I was like, oh shit. I don't know why, I thought it was like a person. It was so high up. I called you, you didn't hear me, so I was like, I'm gonna run back. What?
You hear that whistle?
Oh, I've been hearing them. We're in the Appalachians, Ben. It's normal out here.
I just thought I saw someone walk next to the car.
What?
On your side. Like, Jess, I'm telling you, like, you know how if you're seeing someone in near pitch black darkness, it looks like someone was wearing red, like maybe like a red hoodie, and that they just casually fucking walk by. And like the craziest thing is, oh, this is fucking weird, dude. Whoever this person was, their head came up to like here.
What the fuck? But you 100% think you saw somebody.
He had seen a figure wearing a red hoodie pass through the darkness near the vehicle. The ordinary clothing makes the sighting difficult to dismiss as a shadow or ghost. It raises the possibility that a real person is watching them from the woods. They return their attention to the backpack. It is not simply trapped between the branches. Someone has secured it with reinforced rope or metal wire, suggesting that it was placed there deliberately.
Do you have a knife on you? What? What happened? Did you hear something?
Yeah. No, I was asking if you heard the thing moving around us right now.
Bro, what the hell? Come here.
What?
This rope has like metal inside of it. Look. Pull it. Hauntings. Hauntings. You're great.
Do you seek something?
Do we seek something? We seek answers as to what's going on in the Appalachians. We got stuff in here.
Why is that gross? Oh! That's crazy. What? Oh, that's weird. Is that binary?
Yeah. Bro, it's a fucking card. 20-8-5. I was gonna say, is that a date? But no, that wouldn't make sense.
No. But that's fair. I mean, hey, Spain and France did stuff at times. Let's look at this.
Bro, I'm sorry, I don't... What is this? Is that Russian?
Inside, they find coded papers and writing in foreign languages. Unable to understand the owner's purpose, they decide to return the backpack to its original position. Nearby, an old soda can and a bottle of bleach lie on the ground. The objects are not proof of a crime, but their strange placement changes the mood. Back inside the van, Jasko and Ben discuss stories about feral people living in remote parts of the Appalachian Mountains. Someone familiar with the forest could move between the trails, hide behind the trees, and approach the van without being noticed.
I guess we just try to find a spot for the night. We're gonna keep on investigating some trails and stuff. The Appalachians, man, it's truly one of the most mysterious places on the planet. 400 million years old. Bad things happening here, good things happening here. The downright just darkness that shrouds this place. You know what I mean? It's not like just stories. Like, guys, if you were to come here, you can genuinely just feel it.
They continue along the road and stop near a creek. After leaving the van, they find a large pillow beside the roadside. Then a human-like whistle comes from the darkness.
Oh,
what is that, bro?
That's a fucking pillow.
It's a pillow?
That's a pillow.
That was a whistle? That was a whistle?
Yeah. Kind of sound like the one from earlier, dude.
Can you whistle back? Do you want us to come down to the creek?
Is that the quote? Something like that?
Something like that.
You hear that?
Omar. Hey, Omar, did you pass by the haunted creek? Okay, I'm actually like hearing things all around us right now.
Mm-hmm.
In Appalachian folklore, strange whistling at night is sometimes treated as a warning. The common rule is simple: do not whistle back and do not answer sounds calling from the woods. Jasko and Ben, however, decide to continue investigating. Standing in the forest, they use a spirit communication application. The device produces several alarming words, including red, kill Ben, and kill him.
Listen, listen, there's something moving.
Wait, where the fuck is that coming from?
Stay together, stay together, stay together. That was loud. Who is that? Us?
Who's us?
Ben?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
It looked like something dark just walked in front of the headlights.
Oh, it could have been the fucking person with the red.
Bro, no, we're far from there. There's no way. Are you wearing red? It just said red.
Oh, shit. I said it again.
Kill. Did you just hear what it said before that? That was like a full-on sentence.
It said something in my dreams. That said Ben.
It said Ben. What do you want with Ben? It just said, kill him?
The application cannot prove that a person or entity is communicating with them. However, hearing Ben's name makes the moment feel personal. The earlier sighting of the red hoodie now seems connected to a direct threat aimed at one member of the group. Their experiment provides no clear explanation, so they hurry back toward the van.
Omar, are you still out here, pal? That was a whistle. Very, very loud whistle.
When they shine a light beside the vehicle, they see a pair of white sneakers in the darkness. The stranger does not rush toward them or speak. The person appears to remain still and watch. That silence makes the encounter more disturbing because Jasko and Ben cannot understand the stranger's intentions.
Wait, what the f-
You see that, you see that, you see that.
Go.
Ben, someone's here. Someone fucking... You saw that.
Yes,
you
I saw
that.
I saw the shoes.
Dude, you saw full silhouette. Okay.
Oh, I didn't see full silhouette. I saw clear as day shoes.
Bro,
He was standing right here.
the whistle. Go, get in, get in, get in, get in.
They quickly drive away but later stop to check the vehicle. During the inspection, they discover smeared handprints across the outside of the van.
There's literally handprints on the fucking van.
They're wearing gloves. Look at the way it is. It's smudged. They're
Something
wearing
doesn't
gloves.
feel right. Something doesn't feel right now. And I think that we should probably just get out of this general area really quick.
The marks suggest that someone came close enough to touch the vehicle, lean against it, look inside, or possibly test the door. Until this moment, the van had been their only safe space. The handprints show that this boundary may already have been crossed. Later that night, they divide the overnight watch. Ben sleeps first, while Jasko stays awake to watch the surroundings and edit the video. As Jasko begins to drift off, Ben hears light tapping against the window.
What's going on?
I heard knocking.
Where?
It sounded like in the window. What the fuck? Yo, did you hear that?
No, what happened?
Another whistle, then sounds from directly outside. Because they have already changed locations, the returning noises raise a disturbing question. Did the same person follow the van? A powerful impact suddenly strikes the side of the vehicle.
Ben? Ben!
Bro!
Ben, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on?
Hold on.
Okay, it's locked. But what the fuck was that? I heard it like here somewhere. Where's that?
It was the left side for sure. I don't know. Oh my f***ing god, Jazz.
We have to get the fuck out of here. Wait, what the fuck?
What?
It says there's a door open.
What? No, the
No.
doors are locked.
All the doors. No, that's not possible.
A powerful impact suddenly strikes the side of the vehicle. Seconds later, the dashboard reports that the sliding door is open even though both men believed it was locked. Their final shelter no longer feels secure. Jasko immediately moves into the driver's seat and leaves the Appalachian Mountains, rather than waiting to discover who or what is standing outside. Viewers believed a dark figure was moving between the trees and claimed the coded messages warned of the one watching and run. If their interpretations are correct, the backpack may have been left as a warning by whoever followed the van. Was one person following Jasko and Ben throughout the night, or did separate events only appear connected after they escaped? In a video uploaded by the YouTube channel American Renegade on February 23, 2016, a man is sitting inside his van while eating and working on his computer. Another car pulls into the space beside him, but at first nothing seems unusual. A short time later, he feels the van move slightly. Then it rocks again before suddenly shifting much harder.
Anyway, so I was sitting in a chair responding to a couple comments last night, and I was having a pan of soup. All of a sudden, well, I had the sun visor on the window, but I did notice like a car like pulled up beside me, and I'm backed into a spot. It's typical from that for that place where I normally park. And they seemed to get out. I think it was two people, but I couldn't see all that. And then all of a sudden, I feel the van move. You know, just a tiny little rock. So I figured, okay, well, he got out and maybe stumbled into the van or, something.
Alarmed by the movement, he looks toward the rear and notices a person standing near the storage box attached to the back of the van. Inside that box is an expensive generator. Unable to tell what the person is doing, he quickly moves into the driver's seat, starts the engine and pulls forward. He then positions the van so the headlights shine directly toward the people near the other vehicle.
My box is back there, which houses a very expensive generator. So boom, I jumped up, threw the pan, and then ran into the driver's seat, started up real quick, and then I just kind of leached forward. And remember, I still had the sun visor on, so I pulled that down, and then I came around and kind of pulled back in, and then kind of shined my headlights at them. And then I went and grabbed this. At the time, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if somebody was trying to get into the box or whatever.
At that moment, he cannot determine whether someone is attempting to open the storage box or is simply standing too close to it. Rather than immediately abandoning one of his usual parking locations, he drives around and returns parking in a position that allows him to keep the other car illuminated.
Maybe I'll just leave and find another spot to park at, but I'm not going to be forced. I don't want to feel scared, because this is one of my best locations. It's out of the way. It's not in like a Home Depot parking lot or anything like that. But I get great Wi-Fi and whatnot. I'm not going to lose that spot. So I decided to pull back around, and I still have my headlights on the car and whatnot. So I pulled back in the way I was, and I backed into the same spot. And then I got out and looked at the box.
After some time, the vehicle finally leaves. The man steps outside and checks the rear of his van for scratches damage or signs that someone tried to access the box. During the inspection, he notices what appears to be the outline of a person's body on the storage box. It looks as though someone may have been sitting or leaning on it, which could explain why the van rocked so violently. There was no proof of an attempted theft, but the rocking and the person behind the van made the situation unsettling. Someone may have simply leaned on the storage box, but were they careless or checking how secure it was? In a video premiered by the YouTube channel Will's Whereabouts on January 10, 2021, Will spends the night at the Box Hill Viewpoint parking lot in the Surrey Hills. After arriving, he parks near the edge of the forest, hoping to remain hidden from the main section of the lot.
Freezing cold! There are some absolute plums. Tonight's stealth camp sounds like I'm at a bloody drag race.
Several vehicles are still nearby and people continue driving noisily around the area. The location is far less peaceful than he expected. He then shows his basic car camping setup, including window deflectors that provide airflow and a carbon monoxide alarm for additional safety.
I also now have some window deflectors on each of the 4 windows, which means I can crack the windows 1 to 2 inches, which will stop any rain coming in and will at least get some oxygen flowing inside of here. There's no doubt that tonight is going to get cold, and I'm talking cold for somebody that doesn't have a heating system in this car. Apparently right now it's 3 degrees, but as of 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, even to 7 in the morning, it's going to drop down to -1.
The temperature is expected to fall below freezing, making this likely the coldest night he has experienced inside the car. Before trying to sleep, he locks every door and prepares the rear section of the vehicle.
Tonight's setup, I have to say, feels very, very comfortable. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I know the area and I feel pretty safe here, even though there are a few hooligans about in their cars.
Although the bed feels comfortable, the activity outside prevents him from fully relaxing. People roughly 100 meters away begin playing loud music and shouting, leaving him unsure whether he will get much sleep.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight. There are people about 100 meters away, blazing music out. At least some good songs anyway. And some people screaming.
The cold is uncomfortable, but the larger concern is whether the parking lot will become quiet. By morning, Will wakes while it is still dark, and the temperature remains close to freezing.
Morning, guys. You probably wouldn't believe that it is actually 7:30. Right now it's 1 degree, and it certainly felt like that in the middle of the night. But it wasn't actually too bad. I just can't believe how dark it is at 7:30. That's the problem with the English winter now. It gets dark around 3:30 with the sun setting, and now the sun won't rise till around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
He explains that the night felt extremely cold, but once he settled properly inside his sleeping bag, he slept better than expected. As daylight slowly appears, he looks outside and discovers that the parking lot is almost empty.
It's just starting to come up, which I'll show you in a second. I'll get the drone up and I'll show you exactly where I stayed. This was the spot last night. You can hear the birds actually. A really good night's sleep, you know, considering for the first half an hour, 45 minutes, there was all those kids blazing out music and doing donuts. It wasn't good to get to sleep, but once I did sleep, it wasn't too bad.
By morning, the noisy visitors are gone, and the parking lot finally feels peaceful. Will uses his drone to show the forest-side spot where he spent the night.
That was last night's stealth camp, right next to the forest of Box Hill. I would highly recommend this place. One of the best night sleeps that I've had. Once all of the people left and the noise kind of died down. Really nice flat surface, completely quiet.
Despite the cold and noisy start, the flat parking space helped make the camp successful. Was the quiet morning worth the difficult night? A solo female van traveler from the YouTube channel Exploring Gems heads into the Colorado mountains for her first night of wild camping, alone with her dog Gem. The surrounding views are beautiful, but the isolation quickly makes the experience feel more intense than she expected. The video was uploaded on August 24th, 2025. Even before anything unusual occurs, the silence outside the van adds tension to the night.
Alright, we made it. It was crazy. Like an hour into the mountains. First night wild camping. Nice little spot here. Number 15. It's less windy than mine. And it's got a...
While she is inside cooking and cleaning, Gem suddenly begins barking, which is not normal behavior for her.
I was inside the van, cooking, cleaning up. Jem was on her lead right outside the slider door, and she started barking, which isn't common for her. I looked out to see a man standing there. Naturally, I was startled. You just startled me walking up on us like that. And he was like, "Oh, sorry. Can we borrow a lighter?"
When she looks outside, she discovers a man standing near the van. He claims that he only needs to borrow a lighter, but his sudden appearance makes her uncomfortable. She also notices 2 other men nearby carrying gear, making the encounter feel even more awkward. Nothing dangerous happens, and she gives them a lighter. Still, the experience reminds her to remain alert and to trust her instincts while camping alone. The following morning, she wakes at an elevation of around 11,200 feet and immediately feels the thinner air affecting her breathing.
My goodness. My lungs are feeling it. I was very happy to be exploring this morning. Though Miss Exploring Gems herself.
After the stressful night, a quiet morning hike with Gem helps the trip feel peaceful again. However, another problem soon develops when the van begins having trouble shifting gears. She cannot drive faster than about 50 to 55 miles per hour.
Really can't go over 50 to 55 because the gears, here we go, just shifted down now a little bit. Gears are stuck. Ford can't see me for 2 to 3 days, even though I had an appointment today, so cannot escape the heat now. We're stuck here.
And Ford is unable to inspect the vehicle for several days. This leaves her stuck in the Colorado heat longer than planned. As the temperature rises, she focuses on keeping Gem comfortable by giving her baths, finding shade, and stopping in cooler locations.
This is the reality of what we're dealing with in Colorado. It's too damn hot. It's too damn hot. I love you, Miss Gem.
What began as a beautiful mountain escape becomes a difficult combination of isolation, vehicle trouble, extreme heat, and the unpredictable reality of solo van travel. At high elevation, thinner air can make breathing more difficult, while heat can quickly become dangerous inside a vehicle. Was the unexpected visitor the real warning, or were the mechanical problems the greater threat? This story begins with a solo camper arriving in heavy rain and quickly realizing that the overnight trip may not go as planned. Before setting up his tent, he focuses on security by placing infrared night vision cameras around this campsite. The video was uploaded by the YouTube channel The Hoggett Project on February 19, 2026. The cameras are meant to record anything that approaches while he sleeps.
Pick back up again, and rather than set up the tent, what I'll do is I'll set up the security system. And these are the cameras. They are infrared, night vision, and these are solar panels. If it were daytime, they could recharge. And I've basically attached so I can hook it up to these tripods because I didn't know where I was going to set up. And sometimes you don't have like a tree to wrap it around in the spot you want to, so that's the plan. This right here apparently is the base station.
However, the bad weather already makes every task more difficult, and the lack of service creates an even greater problem.
Need the app to see what's going on. Here's the real question, will it work without service? Guess this also needs to be powered by USB, which we've got something new. Well, first off, this backpack, but within the backpack, so yeah, let's get this thing plugged in. You can see it turns on, it lights up. Uh-oh, I can feel the water on this. This is not good.
Without a connection, he cannot watch the camera feeds in real time. He can only aim them into the darkness and trust that they are recording correctly.
Alright, unfortunately I cannot monitor these things. I just kind of point them off in the direction and hope they get the stuff if anything happens. Won't know until I bring it back tomorrow. Hopefully this microphone still works, because
If anything moves outside during the night, he will not discover it until he reviews the footage later. As the hours pass, the rain becomes heavier. He remains beneath the awning for a long time with almost nothing to do.
well, I think I'm gonna call it. Hopefully by tomorrow things clear up. We can kind of have a better look at this place. Alright, over and out.
By 7 p.m., the campsite already feels unpleasant, so he decides to end the evening early and try to sleep. Later, he notices what appears to be a handprint. Soon afterward, the wind becomes the more immediate concern.
I'm gonna have to do emergency recon.
Wind is getting really bad up here, so you can see it's knocked over my stuff, so I'm gonna pack it in.
I'm just gonna focus.
His equipment begins falling over as the rain continues, and the conditions start feeling dangerous rather than merely uncomfortable. Instead of waiting until morning, he decides to pack everything and leave. The overnight camp becomes a late-night escape. he drives through the rough conditions before the wind grows stronger. At around 3 a.m., he finally reaches the main road. Although the trip ends much sooner than expected, he leaves safely. Strong winds can become more dangerous at exposed campsites because loose gear turns into flying debris and shelters lose stability. Was leaving at 3 a.m. the only safe choice, or could he have waited? This video was uploaded by the YouTube channel Creepy Travels on March 30th, 2026. A solo explorer returns to a wooded area where several disturbing incidents occurred during his previous visits. He immediately feels uneasy after hearing someone yell shortly after he arrives, yet no one can be found nearby.
Yelled, or somebody yelled. Could not find them. This new handheld tripod I've just bought today is extendable, where it will extend up about 3.5 feet. My next thing is to get another flashlight. I want to get a strong headlamp.
As he continues deeper into the area, he points out locations connected to earlier events. These include a place where a body was reportedly found years ago and a trail where someone had once shouted at him.
That's where that body was years ago. Looky there. See, this is the trail I went up and somebody hollered.
The atmosphere becomes even more unsettling when he discovers signs that someone may have been living or hiding in the woods.
So somebody was tucked back behind all this with a fire. So somebody is out here. Like I said, I car camped there like 3 times, and all 3 times something happened on my old channel. They, while I was asleep, had the video pointing towards me, showing that I was car camping and out my window.
He notices a concealed fire area, pieces of cut wood, and several places where a person could remain out of sight. These discoveries make the visit feel less like a paranormal investigation and more like a possible encounter with someone hiding nearby. Before reaching the cemetery, he begins noticing eyeshine and hearing movement around the trees.
Yeah, I'm hearing leaves, and I see eyeshine. Hope the camera picks this up. It's like it's peeping behind the tree. That is where I was hearing the leaves. Yep, I just heard it step. And the eyeshine's gone. Alrighty. And that was probably up about 4.5 feet in that tree. So that's not no animal.
The reflected light appears higher than he would expect from a small animal. He also notices more movement across from the graveyard, but his weak flashlight makes it difficult to identify what he is seeing. As he approaches the cemetery, he suddenly feels that something is wrong. Because his light provides poor visibility, he initially decides not to enter.
I don't want to go in there with this flashlight. I'm going to go back to the car and see if I ain't got another flashlight. Something is telling me not to go in this graveyard right now. I mean, I'm literally stepping back right now. There's something telling me not to go in it. I'll get back with you in a minute, people. I'm going to go look in my car, see if I got another flashlight. I just swore I just saw somebody run to that tree right there, past those gravestones.
Moments later, he believes he sees something moving between the gravestones. Despite the warning feeling, he eventually returns and walks into the cemetery.
This is what I always call the Shadow Bastard Cemetery, because I've seen shadows everywhere. Shadows are all over this place.
Once inside, the sounds become more frequent. He hears branches moving, possible footsteps and activity near the trees, but the darkness prevents the camera from capturing anything clearly.
Right through there is where I saw my first shadow that ran through here. About a year ago. All right, now I know I heard something that time. This phone and this light does not want to focus.
The tension continues to rise as he repeatedly hears what sounds like someone walking nearby, although nothing appears directly in front of him. The most disturbing moment occurs when he believes he sees a person standing beside a tree. He watches the figure move behind the tree and then notices what may be another person nearby. After hearing something hit a tree or branch, he decides that remaining in the cemetery is no longer safe.
Oh my God. I don't know if the camera caught that. He walked behind the tree. Walked behind the tree, that big tree. Right there. I don't know if y'all can even see this shitty light. That tree in the center, that big one in the center.
While retreating, he worries that whoever or whatever is outside could reach the path and block him before he gets back to his car. He leaves the graveyard shaken, convinced that the area becomes dangerous each time he returns.
If I walk backwards, I'm going to trip over a tombstone. I'm going to walk. Oh shoot, I don't even want to turn around. They have surrounded me. These have to be people. These have to be people. I've got to get... I'm going back to the car. Going back to the car. This is where I almost got killed at, people.
The hidden fire site suggests someone may have been nearby. Did he encounter people, animals, or both? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.